991 Review, A Mortal's Journey to Immortality, Episode 164, Thunderous Pursuit. Hello and welcome back, fellow Douse, to 1991 Review. At the end of the last chapter, after resolutely severing his karma with the mortal world in his hometown, Han Li, the mortal devil, decided to return to the Luo Yun sect to continue his cultivation. En route, passing through Lanzhou, he dropped into Jiayuan City to check on the past situation. However, this place was already one of changed scenery and lost people. The old forces like Sun Ergu and the Five-Colored Gate had all vanished into nothingness, replaced by a new power. Han Li did not linger, his heart no longer harboring any mortal dust. He continued his flight on his Dao path. However, just half a day later, a sudden change occurred. Han Li abruptly halted in midair, his profound eyes slightly narrowed as he stared in a distant direction. At the same time, more than 200 li from Han Li's location, a small group of 6 cultivators also froze in clouds. The 2 core formation female cultivators, leading them, Han Yunji and Lu Yu, changed expression. They were using a secret art to track Han Li via the restriction placed on Mu Lingying. Lu Yu frowned and exclaimed, "Not good, he stopped. Could it be that he's discovered us?" Impossible. At this distance, an ordinary nascent soul cultivator couldn't possibly detect us. While the group was still in confusion, Han Yunji cried out in alarm. "He's flying towards us." Hearing this, they all immediately panicked. Discovering the opponent's speed was astonishingly fast, Han Yunji confirmed that this was a nascent soul monster, and she immediately ordered, "Run, quickly! Go to the nearby Ghost Spirit Sect subaltar and ask for help." The moment the words fell, the 6 people immediately combined their power to execute the spirit harmonization art and transformed into a streaking golden light that tore through the wind. On Han Li's side, with the super-strong divine sense of the Great Development Art 4th layer, he very quickly sensed a wave of eerie tracking spiritual power clinging to him. Without further ado, Han Li's divine sense swept around and immediately detected the sneaky group of cultivators far in the distance. Assuming they were the remnants of the Ghost Spirit sect coming for revenge, Han Li stirred his killing intent and immediately turned back to pursue them. For those who had the ability to track him, old Devil Han's policy has always been simple. When eradicating weeds, one must destroy them at the root. Therefore, a scene of earth-shattering pursuit immediately unfolded. In no time, the distance had been shortened to less than 100 li. Han Li was closing in tightly on the streaking golden light of the Spirit Control sect group with unimaginable speed. Just then, Han Yunji's group was like a drowning person clutching a log. They ran into a squad of Ghost Spirit sect cultivators, led by a cultivator with the surname Sun. They thought they had found reinforcements, but unexpectedly ran into another mess of trouble. The man named Sun blocked the whole group and questioned them about the killing of his 6 junior brothers in the Mount Taiwan mountain range. Hearing this, Lu Yu hastily explained that they hadn't been there, but she knew the person who was there was the one pursuing them. At this point, the cultivator named Sun was also half believing, so he requested the group to stay for a confrontation of all 3 parties. Just as the 2 sides were in a standoff, a terrifying divine sense pressure, carrying a bone-chilling might, descended from the sky. Needless to say, the nascent soul-old monster had caught up. Seeing this, the man named Sun's face turned pale and he roared, "You dare to set us up? Everyone, run away quickly." Immediately, both groups of cultivators scattered like a disturbed hornet nest, each fleeing in a different direction, executing all sorts of magic treasures and spirit beasts to escape in hope that the nascent soul-old monster couldn't possibly catch up to everyone even if he had 3 heads and 6 arms. Very quickly, Han Li landed where they had just dispersed. He only curled his lips into a cold smile and took a deep breath. Behind Han Li, thunder rumbled and the silver-winged wind thunder wings appeared. The hunt began. Han Li's first heart was a Ghost Spirit sect female cultivator with extremely fast wind fire escape art. She was feeling complacent because she was confident that her speed was no less than a nascent soul early stage cultivator. But as thunder just sounded, a streak of silver light flashed and appeared right in front of her. Han Li only gently stretched out his hand, and 5 streaks of green sword chi shot out. The female cultivator only had time to scream a single word, "Spare me," before she was pierced by the sword chi and her body was incinerated by a fireball. Her belongings were also collected immediately afterwards. Next, Han Li released countless gold-devouring insects. The swarm of insects immediately merged into more than a dozen tricolored flying swords, which automatically split up to pursue and kill the weakest Foundation establishment cultivators. At this time, the cultivator named Sun was still lost in speculation about how he was innocently dragged into this mess, when unexpectedly the sound of thunder rang in his ear. A giant green sword flashed, and this fellow vanished in a flash. Meanwhile, Han Yunji was fleeing on her spirit bird when she looked at the life detection jade plate in her hand. She horrifiedly witnessed the light spots representing her fellow disciples extinguish one by one. For Foundation establishment, disciples died almost simultaneously. She knew she had underestimated her opponent too much. Without hesitation, she gritted her teeth and executed a secret art that damaged her vital chi, increasing the speed of her spirit bird by half. But it was all too late. The sound of thunder rang, and a figure with 2 wings appeared to block her way. In this moment, Han Yunji was in despair. She could only close her eyes and give up. But a split second later, a surprised voice rang out. "Oh, it's you." Han Yunji opened her eyes in surprise. The attack had stopped, but immediately afterwards, the figure flashed again, appeared behind her, and knocked her unconscious. When she woke up, Han Yunji found herself on a barren mountain, her spirit bird lying beside her, both of them safe. None of her belongings or magic treasures were missing. She was completely confused. Who exactly was that nascent soul cultivator? Why did he recognize her and spare her? At the same time, in a distant location, Han Li was holding another young woman. His body transformed into a rainbow streaking light as he flew towards the Luo Yun sect. Fellow Taoists, can you guess who this woman is? Comment your thoughts in the comments section and let me know. This concludes episode 164 of Immortal Journey to Immortality. Goodbye and see you in the next Shinsha videos.